Alright, we good?
We're good.
Alright, so Habitat for Humanity by myself, Colton, Varholak. So the overview, basically the junior class has to complete 30 hours of community service. I chose to do mine with an organization called Habitat for Humanity.
Donovan, the main office.
So little overview slide, what is Habitat? I don't know if any of you guys have worked with them or have heard of them before. They're pretty popular around here. So Habitat for Humanity is an organization that I myself have been involved with for going on around 5 years. Habitat's mission is really to provide people and families who are living in substandard housing with safe and affordable housing around the Bridgeport, New Haven area, but they're also an international organization, so they work in third world countries all around the world. I personally work with the Bridgeport chapter of Habitat for Humanity because they offer a youth program for ages 5 to 25 where I can get more involved than I would be able to with other chapters. And right now I am currently serving my 1-year term as the president of Youth United, which is kind of like the youth group of Habitat for Humanity. So like I said, it's ages 5 to 25, and we just have a whole bunch of work activities and stuff designated that we can do because of our age group. And we're really the last standing youth organization that is supported by our chapter in the United States, and that is because of budget cuts. So how I completed my 30 hours, it was just a whole slew of things. Executive board meetings, which would take about 2 hours. It's the first Tuesday of every month. We just kind of go over our agenda for the next upcoming month, what we have for work days, fundraisers, all sorts of stuff. Full work days, which go from 8 to 3:30. Half work days are from 8 to 12. And then fundraising events. Speaking of fundraising events, we are having a massive fundraiser on April 7th called Hoops for Habitat. It is a basketball-themed fundraiser at the Boys and Girls Club in Black Rock in Bridgeport. So you guys should definitely come. It's going to be a fun time. But yeah, so all of this was how I completed my 30 hours of service. Part of our presentation requirements was to talk about how the way that we fulfilled our service exemplified Matthew 25, which reads, "Then the king will say to those on his right, 'Come you who are blessed by my Father, take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world. For I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you invited me in. I needed clothes and you clothed me. I was sick and you looked after me. I was in prison and you came to visit me.'" And the part of this that working with Habitat really fulfills is down in the lower part where it says, "I was a stranger and you invited me in." Through Habitat, I've met all sorts of people that without the organization, I would have never met before. All of these people probably traveled maybe like an hour just to get to the warehouse in Bridgeport to build walls for like 8 hours a day, which is really something cool. And then you have the whole homeowner aspect. So all of the homeowners that get a home through Habitat have to do what's called 500 hours of sweat equity, which means they have to work on their house or work on somebody else's house or attend fundraising events for a total of 500 hours. So through that 500 hours, you really get an amazing bond with these people who otherwise you never would have met, you never would have known would have existed before. And then Mr. Abbott also wanted to talk about with Matthew 25 and fulfilling this. You guys may have seen on the weekly email that comes out, me and another student, Liam Fryer, and some of the faculty here at Notre Dame participated in an event called Abraham's Tent, which is sponsored through a homeless shelter in New Haven called Columbus House. And what they do is they take 12 men who are homeless living on the streets in New Haven, and they take them in, and for 14 weeks, beginning right after Christmas and going until either March or April, they go around for those 14 weeks and they spend each week in a different church. And they go overnight, they get dinner and breakfast, and they pack a lunch, and they go out for the day, and they leave. They can go to their job, they can go look for a job, they can do whatever they want during that day. But I thought that fulfilled this quote even more than my work with Habitat, because my church sponsored 1 week of this event. So we were serving dinner every night. We were playing ping pong and foosball with these guys. So that was a way to really, fulfill this quote, because it's talking about you were thirsty, you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, you invited me in. These people, we've never met them before, we'll never see them again. But for a week, we invited them in like they were family that we hadn't seen before. Then we had to talk about Father Basil Moreau's quote, which is basically educating the minds and heart, which is one of the mottos of Notre Dame. So by doing this and working with Habitat, it was really exemplifying this quote of educating the minds and hearts, because one, you're educating the minds by you're going through all sorts of measurements and math and you're learning how to build a house, really. And then, like I said before, you're meeting all of these people that before working with this organization, you would really have no other opportunity to meet them. So it really is, it's educating your heart and showing you how to get along with people and create these relationships with people who otherwise you never really would have known. And then my personal reflection, what have I gotten out of working for them? So I really learned what makes an organization like this run. I've learned all about budgeting and stuff. So it was a really great experience so far to be able to really learn what makes a charity work and how to keep everything running, how to plan events, the amount of work that goes into planning a fundraiser. So it was really a big eye-opener, and it definitely helped me develop my skills and responsibility. And will I continue to work with them in the future? I absolutely will. There are college chapters of Habitat for Humanity all over the country. The former presidents, Abby and Mark, Abby goes to Elon in North Carolina, and they have a Habitat branch there that she got heavily involved in, and she's only a freshman. So I am definitely going to stay involved with them if I can. I still have one more year. After senior year, it kind of ends just because everybody's off to college, but I'll come back when I can to work, and then I'll hopefully do it in college. My favorite aspect is definitely the people I've met. All of these people here I never would have met without Habitat, and there's even more. This was a picture from last year, I think. But the people that you meet through doing this, they stay with you forever. I mean, Manan and Jason all the way over on the left-hand side there, they both go to different schools, but the three of us have known each other for 3 years through Habitat, and we've developed a really cool relationship. Abby, Mark, and I all go to the same church, and Kelly goes to Bunnell in Stratford. So, everybody here, it just becomes one big family through doing all of this charity work and really making people's dreams come true through giving them a home.